Hi, everyone. My name is John Kinney, and I'm with the National Sports Media Association. Today, I'm joined by the 2023 Wisconsin Sportscaster of the Year and Milwaukee Brewers broadcaster, Jeff Levering. Jeff, thanks for joining me today.
My pleasure, John. Great to talk with you.
What does it mean to you to win the 2023 Sportscaster of the Year for the state of Wisconsin?
It's very humbling, to be honest with you. I mean, it's to be included with the names that I was included with just as a nominee to begin with is very humbling. I was shocked when I got the call saying that I had won. Um, it's just it really means a lot, especially for an award that comes from your peers that I feel like I'm doing the right things with my career. And I was blown away the fact that I won this award, considering all the great talent that we have in this great state.
What made you get into sports broadcasting?
I was not a good enough baseball player, so I needed to find something that was going to keep me involved in the sport in some way, shape, or form. So broadcasting is something that apparently I was doing from a very young age in a dugout. When I wasn't playing or I was catching or getting ready to hit, I would always call play by play when I was even a little kid, and then that continued through high school and college. And so I guess it was a real fitting thing for me to do to get into baseball broadcasting, and the other sports just kind of followed suit. But I feel like I've always kind of had it in me to be a broadcaster, especially in baseball.
What advice would you give young journalists and broadcasters trying to pursue a career in this field?
I would say two things. First and foremost, don't be afraid to say no and get out of your comfort zone. You never know what kind of good opportunities can lead from getting outside of something that may be comfortable. And the other thing, the other piece of advice is just to get out there and do it. A lot of young students will reach out and send me demo tapes, and the only way that you're going to get better by doing anything. You could do anything in this world, whether you're a plumber, an architect, or whatever it is, and you're not going to get better unless you do it. So as a broadcaster, as a writer, whatever it is, just get out there, do it. Don't be afraid to fail, because you can learn from every experience that you have.
Do you have any mentors, or do you still have mentors that you look up to over your career?
For sure. I mean, everybody that gets to this level has had some help in some way, shape, or form. And for me, it was Steve Physiok, who recently retired from the Kansas City Royals. He was kind of the first major broadcaster that would listen to my stuff and encouraged me when I was working at Fox West and Prime Ticket in Southern California to go into the booth next door, grab a digital recorder, and give them the tape at the end of the day and listen to what it sounded like. And they kind of encouraged me to get out there and do it. And then those led to other opportunities. There are a lot of great people that I owe a lot to. One is Bob Euchre, who I work with on the radio in Milwaukee. Brian Anderson, who he and I share the TV duties on Valley Sports Wisconsin. Those two guys, especially since I got to Milwaukee, have been goal in helping me develop into the broadcaster that I am. And I did 8 years in the minor leagues before I got to the big leagues. But since I got here, it's a different game. It's a different way to prep. It just feels different. And for Bob Euchre and BA to take me under their wing and show me the ropes and what it's like to be in the big leagues every day, I don't take that for granted at all.
How do you balance your schedule with doing Big Ten Network, and doing the Brewers? Not having really an off season, how do you balance your schedule around?
Yeah, it's a great question, more for my wife than it is for me. She handles all the heavy lifting, especially at home with the kids, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without her. But with the balance in terms of going back and forth with the sports and doing baseball season, doing 190 baseball games a year with spring training and hopefully postseason and a regular season, then to jump right into football and have that crossover and then have some crossover with basketball and the football. The main thing for me is just making sure I know what city I'm in when I wake up in the morning. That's one of my biggest challenges, but it's a great gig, and the preparation for the three sports is different, and being in the everyday of baseball is pretty easy for me because that's what I've done for 17 years. 18 years actually, doing baseball. The football preparation is different. The basketball preparation is different. But I'm really lucky that I get to do all three of the major sports. And it keeps my mind sharp, and I love doing it. But again, making sure I wake up in the right city is always number one for me.
How do you develop your relationship with the players and the team personnel when you're with the Milwaukee Brewers covering them every day? How do you develop that good relationship with the team?
Yeah, the nice thing is that wherever the team goes, I go. So you really get to know these players at a different level. Being in the minor leagues and being on the buses, and you're the PR guy, you're doing sales, you're doing the broadcast. You learn everything about these players because you're in it with them. I still have some really great relationships with the people that I was in the minor leagues with the Angels and the Cardinals and the Red Sox, just because of my time in the minor leagues. And it's no different in the big leagues. You're with the team. The access might be a little bit different, but you're still getting to know these guys. And one of the big things that I learned at a young age getting into this in the minor leagues was if you're hanging around the cage, and I love watching batting practice, I love watching bullpens, but you kind of do that and you're just an observer. You're there to watch. You're not trying to make any noise. You're there to be seen and not necessarily heard. These guys can trust you because you're there and you're in it with them. And if they want to come up and have a conversation, great. It's when you go to these players with an agenda that you lose some of the respect from the players, it feels like for me. So I just go down there, I hang out, I ask them how they're doing, how their families are doing, what are you working on, if you're working on anything. How's the swing feel today? How's the arm feel today? Really basic and easy questions so that you develop just more of a personal relationship, by being there and not necessarily being the loud one and the one who's going to make that. The players and coaches know those people that are around. So being seen and not heard is a really big thing for me.
How important is it to have a good relationship with your other TV partners throughout the MLB with having so many games throughout the season?
Yeah, I think it's great. We have our own fraternity, right? There's no broadcasters union, like there is a players union. So we all look out for each other, whether we're on TV or radio. We go and interact with each other in other booths. So we go out to dinner or post game beverages or whatever it is. It's really a tight knit group, and considering there's only 60 of our jobs in the world between TV and radio broadcasters. We're our own little fraternity, and I think we all don't take that for granted, and we enjoy each other's company. And there's a lot of different jobs out there where you can be upset with the world, but for us, we're entertaining people. We're having fun. We're trying to get people to escape their everyday life. And I think for us to get together and see each other is really rewarding. And we've got a great group of what I've started to leave notes for the TV crews that are coming in, or radio crews. I'll leave little notes on the desk and say, hey, make sure you have a good time. Let me know how you're doing, and we'll see you down the road. I think some guys really enjoy seeing that from not just me, but from other people in the league.
Thanks, Jeff, for taking the time to speak with me today, and congratulations on your 2023 National Sports Media Association Award.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the time.